Why are you laughing? It's after recording. No,
Seriously, you want to sleep? No
no, my
problem.
eyes give me.
No problem. You watch video. I'll be recording. You watch.
Yeah, well, I'm listening, Shai. I'm using my ears. No, it was not clear, so I'm using my ears to
You're already
listen.
sounding like someone that is asleep.
I'm lying down now.
Okay.
You
No
teach me,
problem.
you teach me now.
Who will teach you without network? That's so sorry.
Oh no, you teach me on WhatsApp. Will you do you screen recording?
It's not only screen recording.
Yes, man. You be showing me now. You screen record and be showing me.
Because I'm in the Huawei.
You don't you don't always teach me privately, but before we meet, you have to teach me first.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
before
he's now. He's not back.
no no no. He have started recording, but he's not yet back. He's back, oh, but he's trying. You are not on his system. This to the app.
Okay.
Mm.
Is Gray in this class? Gray. Hello, Gray.
I don't think he's in the no no no. The people in this class is you, Gabriel, and Idowu. Who again? The other person just disappear.
I'm not sure Grace has gotten we said something about hold up.
Gabriel, you, me, Idowu is off safe. Then
Yeah.
the other person used to go off and on. Adeyinka. He used to go off. I don't know his network.
That's Florence, right?
Yeah, that's Lawrence.
Okay.
Your voice is low. Who is that?
Okay. I said that's Florence, right?
It's
Yeah.
Gabriel. Gabriel is talking.
Oh, Gabriel, you're the one talking. Oh,
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Gabriel.
that's Lawrence. The first person to
Bro,
submit assignment too.
the friends are disturbing me. Just why are you laughing now?
I said Florence, the first person that submitted assignment too.
Uh, you're happy now.
I will add it to my CV.
Award. They'll give you award for that.
I'm telling you. People should go and look for a do abeg.
He's coming now. If you don't want to call, let me just sleep for 10 minutes. Oh, well, let me sleep safe. 5 minutes, I'll come back. Just quick sleep.
Mm. Good for you.
Sleep. Let me rest well. Mm. I should not just forget myself. Oh. I'm hungry, safe. I've not eaten night food. Once after the class, I'll look for what I will eat. Now the class now is on break.
Oh, I can imagine, that food aspect.
I'm telling you, guys.
The one that's waiting I could chop tonight, class day on.
Oh boy, I need to think I go chop like this guy. Sleep, my eye, food, my everything. Florence, have fun. Prepare food for us now.
I've been
Florence,
I don't serve the food. The day for cloud.
you say they for cloud. They put food for cloud. I don't understand. I don't
Uh-huh.
cook them.
You get service when not there for cloud. Just go find and you dey there.
Abeg that one no dey cloud no how.
I don't now cloud dey global. So just go cloud now, you go see the food.
I no understand how you wan take serve the food for cloud. Food wey be dis thing
You won't first tell
solid.
me say make I first cook for you now. How I want take serve am?
You go cook for you fit just find solution na.
Na
You
you
just say
first o.
okay Stephen send your account number take 500 go buy beans and bole or plantain make you take dey or make you buy rice with stew dey. Den give
You
Gabriel
know
money okay.
why you never come out go find the beans and this thing make you buy.
We dey talk 12 and dozen na still the same thing we dey try talk like dis now. E dey complicate the matter.
You Gabriel is not like you, I know that.
How am I now? Explain to me now. Are
Hello.
we back? Are we back?
Yes, yes. Apologies for the network issues.
No, no,
Sorry.
no, no problem. We are keeping ourselves busy sef before.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. So, I think the network is clear now, right? Sorry, the screen is clear, right?
We are not seeing the screen now.
Sorry. Let me share. Let me share the screen. Okay, let me. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay. So, is it clear now? Is it clear now?
I'm not seeing anything. Okay, it's back.
Serious. And clear, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Sure. Sorry, apologies for that. I think sometimes my network is kind of bad. So, what I was saying about Syria, so Syria is kind of like a constraint that you put on your column that automatically Postgres helps you to kind of like, so if probably you forgot to add the ID, or probably instead of maybe once when you were trying to insert into this stuff now, remember we are creating table shops. So while I was explaining this table shop, take for instance you own shop left, and obviously shop left, like shop right has different shops in Africa. We have in South Africa, they have in South Africa, I think they have in Ghana, they have in Nigeria, even in Nigeria they have different take for instance, they have in Delta, they have in Badon, they have in different in Nigeria, you understand? So now take for instance, you want to manage your shops, and then you have an ID for each shop, you have an integer, you have, and this integer now is, so if you probably automatically Postgres will help you to insert ID, and the first time you insert into the table, it will be one. The second time, this will be two. So automatically, Postgres helps you to generate this behind the scene. How do you see right there? It creates a sequence, and apart from the sequence, it helps you to kind of map the column. Whenever you remove, drop this now. Once you drop the then the every table will be dropped. So when you talk about a sequence, think of sequence as if you have done mathematics, or probably in your secondary school you did mathematics, which obviously everyone did, or high school for those that are not from Nigeria. So when you talk about sequence. Sequence are kind of like numbers that are generated by following a pattern. So when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's a sequence of numbers, and the difference between it is one. So you could have geometric sequence, you could have arithmetic sequence, and any other stuff. So there are different ways of generating sequence. So now, let's create this table, and then let's run this. So when you run this, syntax error at or near savior. Why is it okay? Let me remove this integer, and then let me run here. Let me run this. Okay, so now you have created a table, and automatically what happened is why Siri actually threw an error is because obviously the data type for Sierra is a number. You understand? Like Sierra can't be an integer. I'm sorry, Sierra can't be a character. Sierra obviously need to be a number. And numbers in Postgres are represented as what is called integers. You understand? Like we already understand this stuff from data types. So that is why when I put integer, it's like you are conflicting because obviously the default value for serial is a number because that is how, like when you look at numbers now, when you have one plus one will give you two. So it's a sequence of numbers. So you put in number again, like it's kind of like a tautology or kind of like repetition, and Postgres will throw an error. So now when you create a table, now let's select from this table to see the columns that Postgres created for us. So let's select all from shops. So select all from shops, and then when you run this, what will happen? You have your ID and location. Automatically, if you look at this, you see that ID is integer. You understand? And then your location is character variant, which is 20. So now let's insert into this, insert into shops. The values, let's insert into shop. Values is what? Let's just put the values as Accra. It's Accra. And when you run this, what will happen? Run this and see. Okay, let me just put this as co. Let's just do this as location. Location and values. So you see now that it has automatically inserted this. So when let's query this table now. Remember, we did not insert ID into this. We only inserted for location because this is the format Postgres followed, location. And Postgres automatically returned successful. That means the query ran successfully. So now let's select all from customers. So sorry, select all from shops. Select all from shops. So now let's see this. If you look at this now, and in Accra, but we didn't find this. By default, if we did not put this serial, Postgres will probably just put it as none. Like, I believe we already know that Postgres will give this value as none because obviously it's a non value, like it's empty. But now with the serial will create one. So it automatically knows that, okay, because we put a constraint here. So Postgres will know that, okay, for this ID, since there's no ID, like you do not put one here, Postgres will automatically help you to create what's it called? An ID value, which is one. So now let's insert again into this. Insert into shops. So let's do location again. Location. Let's put for location. The values is what is Benin. Benin is in Nigeria. So let's run this. Oh, sorry. I ought to comment this, or I ought to have put what's it called? This semicolon. That's why it ran error. So look at it now. Query return successfully. So now let me uncomment this and then run this query. Remember how to run a query, just highlight it and then come here, click on your run. So now ID is one. So if you look at this now, automatically Postgres helps you to create these stuff behind the scenes. So even if you don't insert this stuff, Postgres will help you to insert it. That is the serious stuff. So any question?
Hello?
Any question? Yeah, any question?
Okay. Normal, there are two ways that we can insert into a table, right? Like the first one, you have to
Yes.
list out the order that Postgres is supposed to follow.
Yeah.
Like you have to list out your column. Then
Yeah.
the second one, you don't need to list out the column. You follow it the way it is on your table, and Progress will fill it in,
Sure,
right?
sure.
So my question is, why didn't it run without you including the location initially? Since Postgres
Okay.
already knows that the ID is serial. So without writing location, without stating the column, why didn't it run initially?
Okay, why did not running initially? Because I believe Postgres wanted to follow the format. You remember when you don't put your columns, will think like it's just kind of following this column. Postgres will run. Like, that means if you remove, it's okay. We try to insert this, even if you have your because I don't know if you get like you could do something.
The network is breaking.
Let me know.
I can hear you now. Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Hello. Hello, Gabriel. Hello, Abiodun, and hello, Steven. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm back
Hello.
now. I can hear you.
Hello, we can hear you.
Yeah. This was follow the with its values, even though you don't specify. But so because you put here doesn't mean you can't insert your ID. So now let's run this. Insert into the this you can't insert or require your serial when you're installing. I don't know ID. I don't know if you're following. Like just to think you insert beneath the ID. That's the column are we following? Is it clear? Hello, is it clear? Hello,
Hello, now we hello.
yes.
I'm not following. The network is
Breaking.
fluctuating.
Yeah,
Breaking, breaking.
breaking from here.
It's breaking.
Network is breaking.
Oh, but can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can now.
Okay. So I think I need to be close to this my phone because of network. Yeah. So like I said, when you specify your serial, so think of serial as when you talk about something as a serial entrepreneur or someone is a serial businessman or someone is a serial um advocate or a serial volunteer. So when you mean serial, that means this person has been doing this stuff repeatedly. So serial is kind of like something that is kind of like in a sequence that is done repeatedly. You understand? So so with serial now, serial helps you to generate numbers, and then it automatically helps you to fill in the value. But that doesn't mean because you specify your serial, then you can't specify the value for that serial. You understand? So now when you do something like that is why if you just put, remember in Postgres, there are two ways to insert. You could actually use your column or you could just use your values. You understand? So if you just do insert into now, when you just do insert into shops, values beneath, Postgres will think you are trying to insert this beneath under ID. You understand? So Postgres will not understand. That's why you have to probably follow the format, stuff like that. Yeah. So is it clear? Is it breaking? Is it still breaking?
No, it's clear.
It's clear. These people. Yes, yeah. So there's another one you could use. You could use what's it called? Auto increments. So instead of serial. So with auto increment doesn't give you like doesn't map the column to doesn't give the column a name internally, you understand? So it just helps you to increase and So when you do auto increment, you know, from the name, it's kind of clear, right? Like you could do auto increment, and then let's do something like create. Let's do create. So let's do create table. So let's call this name. The name maybe for shoplift now we have let's call this one maybe managers. And then for managers, we want to have the ID. Or for the ID, we want to make sure that okay, this thing auto increment. That is automatically it increases auto increment. Auto increment. Okay, so then the name of this person, the name of the manager, the variable character. So for the variable character, what are we going to have? Let's say this is 45. So let's create this table. And then let's run this. Let's create this table. Let's create this. Auto increment does not exist. Is it auto increment? What's happening? Sorry, let me try to check. I could still check the internet here. So what's happening? Auto increment Postgres. Okay. Oh, sorry. That is a mistake. So it's a mistake. So auto increment is the default for what's it called? Serial is the default for auto increment in Postgres. So that's the thing. Yeah. So yeah. So instead of using auto increment is maybe for other SQL flavor like MySQL or maybe Oracle SQL. But if you want to do maybe you want your values to automatically increase, you could use your serial. So serial helps you to create like automatically it helps you to increase values. Yeah, sorry. I think there's this schedule. Yeah, sorry. Daniel said, I'm so sorry, I didn't know there was class today. Actually, sorry. Sorry that I did not maybe update you guys on time. I was just busy with some stuff. But like the days of activities or the days of class, yeah, the days of classes are Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So those are the days of classes or activities. So then now we are done with then let's go to the next one. The next one is default. So you could actually set a default what's it called? A default value. So now let's take for instance you want to create, let's say create table, create table. Maybe you want to have a default value. So in case someone doesn't insert something, you could just have a default, but instead of having a non-value, you could have a default value. So what are you going to do? You do a create table, and then let's call this managers. Then so let's say ID. So default. So what? Let's default to 1. So in case maybe take for instance you're inserting into the table managers and you forgot to add the ID, what Postgres will do is automatically Postgres will default, we now add 1, like because you have specified it as the default value. So now let's say manager is 1, and then the name is a variable character, ID integer, so default to 1. So name the variable character, and then let's say 45. So now let's create this table and see what will happen. So you see, we have created a table, and then when we select all from managers, don't select all from managers. Let's see our table. So with this now you have your ID and your name. So now let's try to insert into managers without putting the ID. So now let's just do insert into managers, and let's put let's say the name is Ido, or let's say Osibanjo. So now let's run this. Oh, insert 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 into managers. How to put values? So let's say values. Let's put Osibanjo. So let's run this. Let's run this. So let's follow the normal column, and then let's put it as name, so that Postgres will know that okay, this is what you are trying to insert, so that Postgres will follow this format. So let's run this. So if you look at this now, query returns successfully. So now let's select all from managers, and then let's see what Postgres has done. So if you look at this now, the ID is 1 because there's a default value. You said, okay, if probably someone forgot to add the values, let the ID be default to maybe 1. So maybe for all managers, or for the CEO, the CEO ID is 1 always. Maybe the CEO of the company, so Sipanjo, and his ID is always what's it called, 1. And probably instead of you writing his ID, just tell Postgres, okay, if there's no value for this ID, just default to 1. So by default, Postgres will give you 1. So now let's run this again, and then for you to see again that Postgres is still return 1. Yeah, query return successfully. So now let's just select all from managers. Look at this. It's still 1 Sibanjo, because it said the default value is what, 1. Yeah. So is it clear? Any question? Any question? Hello? Inactive. Gabriel, Abiodun. Gabriel and Abiodun. Any question? All right. So
I think I'm good here.
the absence of any question. Eh?
I think I'm good here. Good here.
Okay. Any other person? Any other question? No question. Okay. So
I'm not hearing you.
we're moving
Network
to
is
the last.
network.
Maybe any other
Eh?
person that, yeah.
I'm not hearing you.
I think it's a net.
Network. My network. I have network. I have network.
You have issue.
Yes, there's network on my phone.
Maybe your area is, maybe network in your area is bad or something.
Because what you are saying, the thing is skipping.
See, Gabriel, can you hear me? Is it clear?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I'm hearing Gabriel clearly.
Wow. Okay, I think since we're having a network issue, probably
Yes,
I'll just need to stop.
I'm hearing you well now. I can hear you.
It's still breaking.
It's breaking. I don't maybe I don't know if we'll be able to have okay. Is it clear now?
No, no.
Okay. So this is what we'll do. So let's go to class, and then we'll continue to where we stop. If
Oh,
possible, we'll just do a brief crash on it. Then we'll just yeah.
network. Network
One.
is.
Bye. Hello, everyone. Hello.
I hear you just now.
Tomorrow by 7. We'll continue to by 7 because of the network issue.
Mm.
Hello.
I'm
Wow.
hearing
Hello, can you
you.
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I said we'll continue tomorrow by 7. Abiodun,
Okay.
can you hear me?
10 p.m.
Gabriel, can you
now.
hear me? 7 p.m. here tomorrow because of the network
Okay.
issue.
Okay.
Yeah, bye bye.
Okay. Bye. Florence, Gabriel, Abiodun. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye.